So I have probably more than 50 years of experience. Fortunately, during that time, I've been through the whole gambit of civil engineering. I'm now the CEO of a company called Amanzi Flow, and Amanzi being is a Zulu word for water. And we operate a range of automatic equipment in for both dams, dam raisings, for weirs, desilting weirs, irrigation schemes, and the like. The equipment is unique. It's been patented, and the overseas engineers are quite fascinated with this equipment. We have the advantage of hindsight, and we know that weather patterns move in cycles, but the cycles are now being exaggerated by global warming and climate change. And it's correct, electricity is a major problem, and a huge inconvenience, to say the least. But I mean, to industry, it's very damaging. But you don't die excuse me being so dramatic, from lack of electricity.
That's true.
It's something that you can live with. You can work around it. But lack of water, now that's something completely different. And also to distribute water to the reservoirs and so on, you have to have electricity. So in many respects, the two go together. If without electricity, you can't pump. We need to fix our aging infrastructure, pipes, leaking pipes. And that in itself can contribute. Nobody really wants to give the percentage, but it might be between 30 and 40% of water which is lost. So we have to, as engineers, dam engineers, and have to manage between those extremes. And that is what's becoming a challenge. SANCALD, which is the South African Council on Large Dams, very interesting papers generally, but in particular, Professor Smithers from the University of Natal, Mr. Diaga as well, gave talks on the effect of climate change. And in KwaZulu-Natal, as we will still remember, because it's still less than a year ago, massive floods, loss of life, and things. So what the climatologists are experiencing is that there is an increase in the extreme rainfall. We have in excess of 5,500 dams which are registered with the Department of Water Affairs. They are not flexible enough to release water ahead of a massive storm to create some extra storage, etc. The dams are actually now filling up with sand or silt, sediment. And that's what actually determines the age of a dam. When when it gets full of sand and silt, and people had to sort of convert from drinking water to drinking whiskey. We're talking billions, and unfortunately, people have a tendency to locate closer to a river or a water course, and they get flooded and are in times washed away. But there's always a backlog. So there are hundreds of dams which haven't yet been fully assessed, so they can be vulnerable. The dams are actually classified as category 1, 2, and 3. Category 1 is really might be a rural dam where the effect of a breakaway is not that critical, but a dam 3 is downstream of an industrial area or high human settlements, etc. One such dam which did cause a lot of problem was the Shongweni Dam, in KwaZulu-Natal,
Yeah.
which is a Category 3 dam, and it has sluice gates on it, two of which tipped. It's debatable whether they tipped too early or not, but
Oui.
the fact remains that these gates tipped. It's a form of sort of like dam failure, but they were designed to tip for extreme floods. But
Okay.
but that results in a surge which comes down the river and created a whole lot of damage, loss of life initially. It
Yeah.
needs proper people to manage this. We do have them, but they are usually not appointed at that time. So at the moment, we constrained by money, and um, and then also we only a few dams that we can do it. What we really need to do now, and I think the department and the municipalities. Remember, municipalities
Mhm.
are big water users, and the department has actually had to take over some municipalities that are, dare I use the word defunct, but they 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 need help
Yeah.
in the sewage plants and in other things, because pollution is another huge problem to dams. It can kill a dam if you start poisoning the dam with pollution. The Water Research Commission have got a study going on, well, on the use of sediment. Um, how do we take out sediment and what should we do with
Mm.
it? And at the same time, use it as a raw material for the local community to make bricks and to do other things. The same could happen to reeds and to and other aquatic plant. Look, Atalius Dam is also falls under Sandcold and Department of Water Affairs as a dam, even though it sticks up in the air. And therefore it has to have dam safety inspections. The still one is called the Tops Gate, uh, and that goes on top of the dam. Um, there's one in Belfast Town Council. I've got one, but the other ones are outside. They're um, in Namibia, and they're in Zambia and Swaziland or Eswatini. So that's Tops Gate. Then we have a Crest Gate, which is a similar type gate. It operates in a slightly different manner, but it still doesn't use electrical or mechanical mechanisms. Then there's a scour gate for the bottom of the weir, and as the word says, it opens in a flood to allow the flood waters full of silt and sediment to be able to be flushed out, and therefore save more capacity in and prolong the life of that particular dam or weir. So, and then after that, there are control gates which are mostly for irrigation. And as I say, um, shorter water, drink whiskey. Shorter water, bath in milk.